Hello, so today we are looking at our beta guide Chat AI. This is for software providers to quickly build their own AI chatbots to help their own users use their applications. The advantage of using our approach is that this is a far more efficient and reliable way than traditional purely LLM based AI. We only need a small fraction of training data, and you can embed workflows and business rules directly into our AI. You can also give the AI objectives, like minimize bounce rates or maximize conversion rates, and it'll try to work out the best way to reach that objective. It will also deploy its own machine learning algorithms to improve itself, although this feature is currently still in alpha testing. But I'm looking forward to demo that in an upcoming video. These features are opposed to traditional current LLM-based AI technology, which has a hard time understanding a complex set of rules and workflows. You still have to keep jumping in training data to train these models in hopes that it'll pick up on learning the desired behavior for your given business or application. And there's no current good way of determining how much training data you need or if what you have is enough. So in this example, we have a client application that generates videos using B-roll footage for users, and they have a problem of high churn rate due to the complexity of the application. And this ultimately hurts their growth, retention, and ultimately revenue. Now, while this is an example application, this is a real application that used to have real users, and this was a real problem it had. And I had worked on this application, and this is a local copy of the build. So if we look over here, we're going to just quickly, run through and spend half a day working on. And so this is, the chat interface that a general user would see, minus some developer stuff. So you say, user just says, hey, create a video for me. And you tell the chatbot. Obviously, you can customize the chat application, the chat text box, and you can dump it onto your own application. There's also an API if you want, as a developer, to have your own custom kind of interface. But it's, just this kind of, prompt and response. So the AI said, okay, I'll need a title, subject, and length of the video, and optionally an organization name to run under, because this is a enterprise kind of class of video generation. Just okay, the video's title is say all about mining. All right, and so right now we just say, okay, we haven't trained the AI currently to respond to that. It just says, okay, I recognize what you said. You can obviously train the AI to give a response in this case. The video's subject is mining, and the video's length in this case for this example is 10 seconds, and just write 10. And finally, the video's organization name is test org. And so now we say, go generate the video. It's going to sit here. So now it's marked, okay, it's identified, the video is done. And again, this looks technical. You can give it custom responses to say when it's accepted at input. So if we go back to over here, and this is our test application, and today's, January the 3rd, and it's saying, it's received the video to build. And this is the general application that a user would use, but as you can see, it's a lot more complicated through a lot more features. So we just say, okay, that's all we want to have for this application. And putting together a quick prompt, like this is all the prompts you need to get started. And what we use is something called a resolver. So if you give it an exam prompt and the user then goes and puts something similar, it'll try to coerce that prompt into something you can put in this format, and then you can try to capture the input and put it into a state machine. And that state machine holds, the business rules. It holds temporary information. For instance, when I was going, just the video is titled this, and then they'll save the video title in memory. So when I tell it the subject is this, it still has now the subject and video title. And then once I go say generate the video, it'll use all the information that's previously collected in that conversation, and then pass that to an API call. And that's how this application integrates with other applications. Is you can configure to hook into various APIs or interfaces, and that'll run the application. We also do have some ways of like configuring, say, is this information sensitive? And this means that we'll be a lot more careful with like logging or sending the information. So if an information is either private personal information or if corporate sensitive information, you can mark that in the system, and the system now knows that anytime it sees that information, it'll wipe that from the logs, as well as to make sure it's not shared between any other non-trusted users. So that's the guide as it is currently today, beginning January.